Hey guys! In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 super easy DIY gift ideas for coffee lovers. We have everything from wall decor, room decor, and jewelry. The first idea is a handmade coffee scented candle. For this DIY, you will need a white mug and either porcelain paint or pen. And now you can paint any design you like. I wanted to paint something that is simple but still looks cute. That's why I simply applied short lines like that until I was happy with the amount. But you can of course create any design you like. While the paint is drying, we can move on to melting the candle wax. Here I will be using 3 white colored candles. These candles I melt in a heat-safe pot that I place into hot water on the stove. This way the wax can carefully and slowly melt. While the wax is melting, we can prepare the candle wick. To make sure that the wick will stay in the center of the mug, I would recommend to glue the end to the bottom using some strong glue. And here I will be using hot glue. The excess wick we can wrap around a pencil and place it on top of the mug. Let the melted wax cool down for a few minutes, or otherwise it will be too hot and melt the glue. And then you can carefully pour in the melted wax inside the mug. Now all you need to do is add a little bit of ground coffee inside the liquid wax. The coffee might sink down a little bit. That's why I would recommend to mix everything from time to time while the wax is cooling down. If you want, you can also add a few coffee beans on top, just not too much, or the candle will have difficulties burning. And once the wax has cooled down, cut off the excess candle wick and the candle is finished. I think this candle looks so cute and cozy, and it smells really nice. The next idea is to create a tea candle holder with coffee beans. Here we'll need a porcelain bowl and either porcelain paint or pen again. You can get creative again and paint any design you like. I wanted to keep it rather simple again. That's why I painted a few branches with leaves all around the bowl. Now we just need to let the paint dry, pour in some coffee beans inside, and place a small tea candle inside the coffee. Now when the tea candle heats up, you will be able to smell the coffee even more. The next idea you might have already seen, but it's a fun way to gift coffee for any coffee junkie. For this project you will need a deep picture frame. I got mine from IKEA. Remove the backside of the frame and pour the coffee beans inside the frame. If your friend doesn't have a machine for grinding coffee, you can also use already ground coffee if that's easier. Once you fill the frame with coffee, add the backside of the frame and turn the frame around. And now it's time to add the text on top. Here I'll be using a silver colored waterproof pen that holds well on glass, but you can also use a white pen instead. And now you can write a funny message on top. For example, you can write, "In case of emergency, break glass." If you're a coffee addict as I am, you know how awful it is to wake up in the morning and to realize you have not enough coffee for a cup of coffee in the morning. But now your amazing gift will prevent any disasters. And if you're obsessed with resin projects, the next idea is perfect for you, because now we are going to create coffee jewelry. For this DIY, you're going to need resin with its hardener. The ratio here is 1:2. So we need a little bit of resin and a double amount of the hardener. But be sure to read the instructions of the resin you're using first, as the ratio might be different. Mix the liquids together very well and then we can prepare the molds. Here I will be using the same molds you might have already seen in my other videos, but resin is so versatile, I just love it. Now pour in a little bit of resin inside the mold in the shape of your choice and start placing a few coffee beans inside. The great thing about these projects is that you can really play around with it and experiment. You can either place the beans inside the mold so the bottom side will be facing towards you, or you can place the beans so the side that is facing towards you will be already the front side. Both ways will create different results and both will look amazing. And once you're happy with the arrangement, let the resin harden. And this is how the pieces look once they have completely hardened. Depending on the mold you were using, You can either attach a glue-on bail with a little bit of resin again, the same way as I showed you in one of the previous videos that I will link here and in the info box. Or you might only have to add a jump ring to the hole and then attach a necklace. But of course, you can also make small pendants for smaller necklaces, earrings, or something else you might have in mind. The last idea is a 3D coffee wall art that is shaped like a heart. You can either glue the coffee beans one by one onto a piece of paper that you can frame, or you can also create a template first by folding the paper in half and drawing a heart. And when you cut it out, you get a perfect heart you can use for the 3D art. And now we need to prepare the coffee beans so we can glue them to the paper. For this step, add some coffee beans into a cup and add some liquid glue on top that dries clear. Mix everything very well, and then you can start adding the coffee to the template we cut out earlier. You need to do that rather quickly or the glue will become more and more sticky and it will be more difficult to distribute it. Apply the coffee beans to the template until everything is covered, and then you can let it dry. If you want, you can leave out a little gap on the right corner to imitate the light reflection, but this is optional. Once everything is dried, we can glue the template with the coffee beans onto the paper that is already framed. And the gift is done. Now you have a coffee-scented 3D wall art you can hang up in the kitchen or wherever you want. If you need more inspiration on what you should make as a gift, be sure to check out my playlist full of gift ideas right here. And if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, it will mean a lot to me. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell button to get notified whenever I upload a new arts and crafts related video on Thursdays and on Saturdays. Thank you so much for watching guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye!